Hallo julle. Hoe gaan het? Yeah, everybody looks happy, so that's good enough for me. So, we've come a year since last year. It's almost a year since we started with the program in October. And way before we started with the program, I had lengthy discussions with Koba. So we've met each other early last year. And even before we started with the PFP program, there were some other programs that we've actually engaged with in terms of Kaima, the skills in Kaima community. Now, we knew that there was a huge gap because we've experienced it every single day. With the growth in the company, with local employment, in terms of what's required there, we've experienced a lot of skills concerns, as well as obviously in terms of employment. There's a lot of local people that needs to be employed and that needs to earn an income to sustain themselves. So these are some of the general problems we had. So we had several youth interventions and community interventions in terms of understanding what's required to actually have opportunities in terms of developing skills for people in Kaima. So PFP is one of those partners that we've then decided to go with in terms of the program. You can see it's called, the whole process for everybody here, it's called a transformational leadership development. So it's growth in terms of the business leader as well as in terms of the principal, and to understand what's required to upskill each other, basically, in terms of understanding community needs, and then using the school as the center for the broad-based development. This is a term that you'll hear more and more from us in terms of the work that we are doing as a company within the Kaima community. So, in terms of involvement, we've been looking at the school principals, school management team, teachers, parents, and community. And this is part of my daily job, and I just love it. I love working with our parents, with the community, with the teachers. There's just so much that we can achieve, and that there's just so much that we still need to do. In terms of the partnership between myself and Romeo, we haven't had a chance to really engage or grow as much as we wanted to. Okay, this is mainly due to my hectic schedule as well. In terms of the whole investment for Vedanta, it keeps me on the road a lot. I've missed a couple of sessions. There's 8 elements to the programs. I think I've missed quite a few because I wasn't in town. But through that, between myself and Romeo, we kept communicating. And we are determined to make a success of the whole program and to actually get over those hurdles. One of the reasons why Romeo is not here, you've heard from Koba. There's a couple of other things that he needed to attend to as well. But just to come back, in terms of partnerships, we had several interventions in Kaima and Namakwa schools. As a company, we do quite a lot in terms of the school development through subsidies. We subsidize each and every school, each and every kindergarten in Kaima. So this is now in all 5 towns. So it's for us, it's a way of life in terms of the company, that we are there to assist the schools, we are there to assist our children in our communities. We're going to roll out a program shortly called Hey Math. It focuses on mathematics in schools. It's a significant investment. Once again, it's not just in Kaima, but it's actually a little bit further than that. It includes about 30 schools in the whole of Namakwa, together with schools in Kaima. But I also just want to look at Koba, and this is maybe something in future partnerships, using the school as the center in terms of development, is to look at our OKIP TVET college. There's just so much opportunity. As part of this, we've engaged in a program with the TVET college. We've enrolled 177 Kaima community members in programs at the TVET college. And this ranges from artisan programs through education, other educational programs, etc. And this is to upskill our people in Kaima to be able to apply for jobs, etc. So we are quite proud of that. And then I think a program that's very close to us, everything came basically from the PFP start in terms of those discussions that we had, and then just extension of what we've been doing, is that we want to, it's part of a commitment from our side, establish a Kaima Learner and Development Resource Center. Mr. Klute, this is specifically, we've seen it through the program, and I think some of the colleagues has mentioned it in terms of some of their concerns at schools, especially with regards to our special needs, children with learning difficulties. So this center that we want to establish here in Kaima is to assist the schools and the families with those type of difficulties. Okay. Okay, move on. I want to just talk to our own internal transformation as just linking up to the PFP transformation. We've just gone through a planning stage of where we've planned for the next 5 years. And I must say, the bulk of our commitment is towards upskilling and education in schools. Now, in total, we've committed close to 240 million in terms of development over the next 5 years in Kaima, and close to 75 million of that is only going towards education. This is in terms of programs like what we're doing with the school principals, in terms of our subsidies to schools, as well as in terms of upskilling our youth that's now outside of school. Our themes that we've been looking at, infrastructure and services, it's all about broad-based development in terms of productive local economic development, education and skills development to increase our local socio-economic capacity of our people, empowerment of women and youth. This is a big part of our transformation, and local people to meaningful participate in the economy, and then institutional capacity building. So we've got a lot of support within our communities, groups of people that wants to also be part of the development within Kaima, and it's to strengthen those structures, to make sure that the programs that we implement actually become sustainable. It's part of what we do, PFP, that it can be taken forward. So it's that type of capacity building that I'm talking about. And then I've seen in some of my colleagues' presentations in terms of social welfare, it's a very important matter for us as well in the company. This morning I've spent quite a lot of time with the minister in terms of social development, as well as business partners to government that deals a lot with substance abuse, with alcohol, etc. So we had a very lengthy discussion in terms of what we can do in Kaima, what we can do at the schools, as well as obviously what we can do for our company, Vedanta. So there's a lot of investment into those areas. If we don't get the last part, the social welfare, the substance abuse and those type of issues, if we don't get that right, then everything else we're trying to do is going to fall flat. So that's a very important issue for us as well, just to address. This is just a summary of our investment that we've just committed. You can see the 136 million is for our own internal employees. 61 million of the 136 million is for our communities in terms of skills, upskilling the schools, the youth, etc. And then in terms of LED, it's a lot of work that we need to do with regards to projects, broad-based projects. The center of it is to put a meal on each and every family's table every single day. So that is what we're working towards. So 86.5, that makes up our commitment towards investment for the next 5 years. That's me. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.